Welcome back to Zodiac Talks Tarot, where we retire glittery horoscopes and replace them with clear-eyed guidance you can actually use. I'm your longtime researcher, the kind who reads birth charts with one hand and psychology journals with the other, then sprinkles in a little Buddhist good sense so your soul doesn't sprint faster than your breath. Today's focus is Sagittarius. Make space for miracles. What's coming will warm your heart, and yes, I'm talking to the archers who swear they're fine while secretly negotiating with the universe like it's a rental car upgrade. Let's be frank, you're not being nudged, you're being rerouted. The map you've been following was drafted by expectations, not by your interior compass, and the year of triumph 2025 wants you to swap borrowed directions for your own coordinates. Think of it as spiritual home improvement. Fewer vision boards taped to the fridge, more room cleared in the calendar for the life that fits you now. Jupiter favors bold honesty, and the data agree our choices follow our attention, so aim yours higher, not louder. In relationships, expansion doesn't require eviction, it asks for truer conversations, the kind where humor keeps the truth soft and the ego on a short leash. Professionally, your boredom isn't laziness. It's a well-read intuition asking for a bigger syllabus. Financially, trade impulse for intention. Miracles prefer direct deposit to emotional spending. Health-wise, remember that rest is not quitting, it's maintenance for your meaning-making engine. And beneath it all, a gentle Buddhist reminder, hold outcomes lightly, actions firmly. When you stop gripping what's shrinking, warmth returns first as a quiet ease, then as momentum. Aim higher, archer, the universe understands your language when you finally speak your own. Zodiac Talks Tarot is a space where astrology grows up a little, where the stars are less about glitter and more about guidance, where psychology meets philosophy, and a hint of Buddhist calm runs underneath it all. As someone who has spent decades tracing how Jupiter's laughter turns into human restlessness, I've learned that Sagittarius isn't just a fire sign, it's a philosophy wrapped in skin. And right now, that philosophy is undergoing what I like to call the Great Redirection. You've been following a route that once made sense, the stable job, the reasonable choices, the respectable progress. It looked good on paper and even earned polite nods from others. Yet somewhere between ambition and routine, the pulse of meaning went missing. You've been successful by every external measure but suspiciously unfulfilled by your own. That's not a crisis, that's spiritual claustrophobia. The path hasn't gone wrong, it's simply finished its work with you. The universe, being both mischievous and merciful, never lets a Sagittarius stay too comfortable for long. It begins whispering through coincidences, through people who repeat the words your intuition already said, through tiny frustrations that turn out to be sacred hints. You are not lost. You are being redirected. But this time, freedom will demand discipline. Most people misunderstand liberation as chaos, as doing whatever they please whenever they please. Sagittarius knows better. True freedom is the art of steering your own ship with awareness after years of drifting on other people's currents. It's the ability to choose, not react. The gut feeling you've ignored, that quiet voice that sounds suspiciously like truth, is Jupiter's GPS recalibrating. You've spent too long editing yourself to fit into society's polite orbit, and the year of triumph 2025 is here to remind you that you are the orbit. Still, rebellion for rebellion's sake is just another cage, a noisy one. Before you burn bridges, ask the crucial question, am I leaving because I'm bored, or because I've evolved? One leads to drama, the other leads to dharma. The difference is consciousness. And then there's love, that eternal classroom where even Sagittarians can lose their syllabus. You, the philosopher of the Zodiac, can turn affection into a research project, fascinated by connection, allergic to confinement. The universe finds this both adorable and exasperating. This month, the energy of expansion moves through your relationships, stretching them like taffy. If you're partnered, Friction may arise, but friction, my friend, is how growth grips the road. Don't mistake recalibration for rejection. Your partner might sense your new momentum and feel unsettled, not because they disapprove, but because your energy is rewriting the script. Be kind, but don't dim your fire to comfort someone who's afraid of their own light. If you're single, consider pausing the romantic treasure hunt. This is the season for self-discovery so deep that companionship becomes optional, not medicinal. You don't attract love by chasing it, you draw it in by radiating wholeness. When you're no longer running from your own company, love ceases to be an escape and becomes an echo of your fullness. You are not being punished for wanting more, you are being prepared for it. The great redirection isn't chaos, it's precision, even if it doesn't look that way yet. The old map you've been following was someone else's handwriting. The new one is being drawn from your own heartbeat, line by line. And as it unfolds, remember that freedom without mindfulness is just another kind of trap. Real adventure, the kind Sagittarius was born for, begins when excitement meets awareness. Laugh when things go sideways, forgive yourself for previous detours, and keep your humor close. It's the fireproof cloak you'll need for every leap that follows. Life has a sense of humor, and Sagittarius, lately you've been cast in the starring role of the cosmic guinea pig. Welcome to what I like to call the trickster phase, a time when the universe dresses up tests as temptations and disguises detours as opportunities. Every great hero's journey needs its false prophets and shiny distractions, and yours are arriving with perfect comedic timing. You may soon be offered something that feels a little too magical, a shortcut that skips the dull middle chapters, a person whose charm feels pre-approved by fate. The problem is, fate doesn't hand out guarantees, it hands out lessons. This season is less about discovering what's right and more about noticing what's almost right, the near miss, the counterfeit freedom that sparkles at a distance but evaporates upon touch. Your intuition, that beautiful marriage of logic and cosmic Wi-Fi, already knows the truth. It buzzes when energy feels off, it tightens your stomach when words don't match vibration. If something looks like liberation but smells faintly like escape, it's not destiny knocking, it's distraction in drag. Don't confuse skepticism with cynicism, you're not here to distrust life, just to see it clearly. Miracles, after all, don't require you to turn off your brain. The chosen ones of expansion are never tested by deprivation, they're tested by abundance, by too many open doors that all look shiny. Your task is not to say yes to everything, it's to say no with grace when your soul feels the static. Professionally, you're standing on what I call the hero's desk, a vantage point where risk stares you in the face while potential whispers behind it. You can feel the shift, it's that subtle boredom arrays can't fix, that soft hum of discontent that shows up even when things are technically fine. That's not laziness, that's your spirit filing a transfer request. When Jupiter governs your chart, restlessness isn't rebellion, it's evolution. The universe may soon slide a new opportunity across your desk, one that doesn't fit neatly into the spreadsheet of logic. It may look unstable, less pay, more freedom, fewer rules, more creativity, but take the meeting anyway. The year of triumph 2025 isn't built on predictability, it's built on brave alignment. Fortune favors the archer who dares to draw a new bow, even when the target is hidden in fog. Still, a warning, passion without pacing turns into burnout, and burnout is not a badge of honor, it's a scheduling error. You don't have to work like you're on a deadline to impress the divine. A Sagittarius running on empty is like an arrow with no feathers, directional but doomed. The universe doesn't want you exhausted, it wants you effective. Now let's talk money, that ever-touchy subject where cosmic law meets capitalism. You're rewriting the script, and thank goodness for that. The old equation said, work harder, earn worthier. But if that worked, billionaires would be the happiest monks on earth. The truth, which you're now learning, is that abundance has more to do with alignment than effort. When you act from authenticity, resources move toward you. When you grind from fear, they scatter. Your natural wealth lies in your voice, your teaching, your philosophy. You could make a living turning experience into insight writing, speaking, mentoring, or even podcasting under that charming sag wit. If the cosmic algorithm had a personality, it would be shouting, "Post it already." But remember, Jupiter loves to test your judgment. Overspending after a dopamine spike? Classic Sagittarius move. Try the 72-hour rule. If you don't still love it after 3 sunsets, let it go. Real prosperity isn't about accumulation, it's about discernment. It's not how much you hold, but how wisely you choose. And here's the beautiful irony, when you stop chasing wealth, you start attracting it. Finally, let's turn to the topic most archers prefer to postpone: health. You've been sprinting through life as if there's a trophy for exhaustion, but I hate to break it to you, there isn't. Even Jupiter takes naps between miracles. Your body isn't a trampoline for ambition, it's a temple for consciousness. Vitality is your true currency, and unlike money, it can't be borrowed. Notice how your energy soars when you're curious, laughing, or learning. That isn't coincidence, it's bioalchemy. Your body blooms under meaning the same way plants lean toward sunlight. When you're doing work that matters, your cells practically applaud. So make space for joy in your daily rituals. Add laughter to your diet, it burns calories and cynicism. Schedule boredom, too, it's the nervous system's version of meditation. Rest isn't quitting, it's preparation. Spiritual maturity sometimes looks less like enlightenment and more like drinking water before you're thirsty. You don't have to summit every metaphorical mountain today. Some days, victory looks like finally closing your laptop before midnight, taking a slow walk under real stars instead of scrolling through the fake ones on a screen. Sagittarius, these weeks are a masterclass in discernment, purpose, and sustainable passion. The trickster energies are not here to deceive you, they're here to refine your perception, to make sure your yes means yes and your no is rooted in self-respect. The hero's desk is where meaning meets motion, and the climb toward abundance and health begins with clarity, not hustle. You are being asked to mature your fire, not extinguish it. And as any good researcher, philosopher, or comic will tell you, wisdom is simply curiosity that learned how to rest. Fate is never still for Sagittarius, it's a restless dance partner that keeps changing the rhythm just when you start to find the beat. In the language of tarot, your story this season begins with the Wheel of Fortune, your cosmic signature. It's not shouting jackpot this time, but rather whispering upgrade required. The universe isn't handing you a winning ticket, it's sliding over a new syllabus. You've already passed the survival exam, now it's time to major in creation. The wheel turns not to repeat, but to reveal. Change is coming, and it's not asking for your permission, only your participation. Riding beside it is the Knight of Wands, your fiery twin on horseback, brilliant, brave, and slightly over-caffeinated. This knight represents your hunger for movement, that Sagittarian urge to leap before looking. It's glorious energy, but without aim, it's just fireworks in daylight. Enter Temperance, your own major arcana card, standing like a wise alchemist between passion and patience, reminding you that balance is not the absence of fire but the art of controlling its burn. Together, these cards form your holy trinity: momentum, balance, and purpose. And then comes the Six of Wands, the applause after the climb, promising recognition and visible success. It's the universe saying, yes, I saw you stumble, but I also saw you get up. Finally, the World card closes the spread, not as a farewell but as a diploma. Endings, after all, are graduations in disguise. You've finished one curriculum, and the next one, creation, is already enrolling students. But to step into this next cycle, you need a particular mindset, the architecture of miracles, if you will. Sagittarius manifestation has never been about wishing on stars, you're too pragmatic for that. It's about collaborating with them, understanding that destiny is a duet, not a solo. You bring the vision, the universe brings the timing. Every thought you nurture is a seed, every emotion a form of prayer in motion. Choose them carefully. Anxiety may still come knocking, but try answering the door with curiosity instead of panic. Ask yourself, what if this chaos is choreography? It sounds absurd until you realize how often disasters have turned into your biggest turning points. Humor, in this context, isn't avoidance, it's alchemy. The ability to laugh at cosmic irony turns suffering into scholarship. Remember that miracles rarely arrive looking like blessings, they often wear the costume of inconvenience. So when things fall apart, don't rush to label it failure. Maybe the universe is just doing renovation work on your behalf. Every Sagittarius learns eventually that the story shifts the moment you stop labeling setbacks as tragedies and start treating them as plot twists. And while you're rewriting destiny, your roots are asking for attention. Home for you has never been just an address, it's a frequency, an emotional climate. Lately, that atmosphere is clearing. Old misunderstandings in the family can dissolve if approached with warmth instead of righteousness. The Sagittarian way of healing is not through lectures but through laughter. When you laugh at your own chaos, you invite others to forgive theirs. A parent or sibling might finally understand that your wandering spirit was never rebellion, it was research, field work for the soul. You've been out collecting stories to bring back to the tribe, not running from them. You are, in many ways, the family philosopher, the one who can translate pain into perspective. When you speak with compassion instead of certainty, you teach without trying. When you stop needing to be right, you start being wise. Still, no hero's tale is complete without a dance with the shadow. The Sagittarian shadow is fiery, fascinating, and occasionally self-sabotaging. It's the trio of ego, impatience, and unfinished projects that follows you like mischievous pets. You start 1,000 fires but forget to build a hearth. You chase ideas like shooting stars, beautiful but fleeting. The cure isn't to quit dreaming, it's to finish something. Completion is confidence disguised as closure. And about that famous blunt honesty of yours, it's both your superpower and your social hazard. There's a difference between speaking truth and throwing it like a javelin. Try trading the sword for the bow, arrows reach farther and land softer. Deliver truth with grace, and watch how people start hearing you instead of defending themselves. You're not being punished for your intensity, you're being polished by it. Fire, when directed, forges strength, when scattered, it just burns the furniture. At the core of it all lies your faith, your personal philosophy that bridges the explorer and the monk within you. Beneath your humor and wanderlust lives a quiet sage who understands impermanence better than any sign. You know that every adventure, no matter how grand, ends in a lesson of letting go. Buddhist wisdom calls it non-clinging, psychology calls it acceptance. It's the same truth wearing different robes. The irony is that when you stop demanding specific outcomes, life starts handing you better ones. The cosmic joke is that control never worked anyway. So the next time you miss a flight, lose a deal, or watch someone walk away, try whispering, maybe the universe just saved me from a smaller story. Then, with your signature wit, order dessert. Enlightenment should never require starving yourself of joy. This is the season when your spiritual curriculum expands, when tarot becomes not prophecy, but mirror. The wheel turns, and you turn with it, not as a victim of fate but as its co-author. You are being asked to refine, not restrain, to ground your fire in purpose, to let laughter be your meditation and curiosity your compass. You are no longer the wanderer lost in meaning, you are the philosopher building it. Destiny is not chasing you, it's waiting for your RSVP. And when you finally step into its light, you'll realize that every wrong turn, every restless night, every so-called mistake was part of a cosmic choreography designed to make you fluent in both freedom and faith. The archer doesn't just aim high, it learns when to release, and that, Sagittarius, is when miracles find their mark. There is a moment in every Sagittarian life when the air changes, when a strange electricity hums just beneath the skin, equal parts wonder and warning. That, my friend, is the miraculous threshold. It's the point when the universe stops sending gentle hints and starts rearranging your furniture. Something big is approaching, a message, an opportunity, a reunion, or perhaps an idea so luminous it bends the arc of your destiny. You'll recognize it not by logic but by sensation, a shiver of recognition, a pulse of both fear and excitement in equal measure. That's not anxiety, that's your intuition doing jumping jacks. Miracles, after all, have terrible manners. They don't knock politely or schedule themselves conveniently. They arrive like unexpected guests who drink your last bottle of wine but somehow redecorate your life in the process. And they never show up until there's room. So if your life has recently undergone what feels like a forced decluttering, people leaving, plans collapsing, expectations dissolving, don't mistake that for loss. It's spiritual housekeeping. The universe was mowing your emotional lawn so blessings could find parking space. Remember this simple truth: abundance can't park in a garage already full of regrets. If you need coordinates for the season ahead, look to your cosmic numbers 3, 9, and the royal blue frequency that hovers between them. 3, ruled by Jupiter's sense of humor, reminds you to laugh through logistics, to find play inside pressure. The number 9, that wise old philosopher of the sequence, signals completion that liberates rather than punishes. It's the closing note of one melody before the next symphony begins. And royal blue, the color of clarity and calm authority, isn't just flattering on you, it's symbolic armor. It's what truth looks like when it's kind. Wear it when you pitch an idea, when you pray for direction, or when you post something brave enough to scare you a little. It tells the universe you speak fluently in sincerity. It reminds others that honesty, when delivered with warmth, doesn't wound, it heals. Compatibility this month also holds its own brand of cosmic comedy. With Aries, you form an adventurous duo, the type that argues about GPS directions only to stumble upon secret beaches and laugh about it over snacks you didn't plan to pack. With Leo, it's a power match of confidence and charisma. Together you could give a TED Talk or accidentally start a self-improvement movement. And with Aquarius, you meet your intellectual equal, the philosopher's soulmate, where ideas bounce between you like comets until one of them catches fire and becomes a revolution. But here's the catch: true compatibility for Sagittarius has little to do with comfort. You don't need someone to hold your hand through stillness, you need someone who can laugh with you in the storm. Whoever matches your laughter will match your legacy. For the students and seekers out there, whether you're cramming for an exam or chasing an elusive life certification, remember that Jupiter never rewards the climber who gives up 5 minutes before sunrise. Every Sagittarian knows the mid-journey fatigue, that moment when enthusiasm fades and the path feels longer than promised. But knowledge, real, lived, uncomfortable knowledge, is your passport to multidimensional freedom. That book you're too tired to finish tonight might open a lifetime of doors tomorrow. Curiosity, for you, is both caffeine and compass. It keeps your soul awake when the world tries to rock it back to sleep. So study, but not just from books. Study the pauses between them, the people you meet, the mistakes that sting. They're all chapters in your evolving thesis on how to be gloriously alive. Yet even the archer, eternal optimist, and cosmic comedian, has human moments when the arrows of enthusiasm fall short. Yes, you are the Zodiac's motivational speaker, but even you get tired of your own pep talks. Some mornings positivity feels like a coat 2 sizes too small, tight, uncomfortable, and a little dishonest. That's fine. Faith doesn't mean pretending everything's fine, it means trusting that meaning will emerge even when things aren't. Sit with the mess. Make jokes with it. That's your sacred alchemy, the ability to turn discomfort into insight, chaos into comedy, grief into philosophy. When you learn to laugh at what once frightened you, the fear loses its license to control you. And now, the final transmission, the Archer's Oath. Sagittarius, you are the horizon in human form. Your optimism doesn't deny darkness, it defies it. You are living proof that laughter is not frivolous but revolutionary, that joy is a muscle stronger than despair. You remind the world that truth, when spoken with compassion, can heal faster than time itself. The cosmos is clear, your next chapter isn't about chasing novelty, it's about embodying mastery. You've survived the prequel, now comes the main act. The miracle season begins the instant you stop waiting for permission to live like yourself. Life isn't holding back your blessings, it's waiting for you to stop shrinking around them. So make space for joy, for awe, for the miracle already knocking at your door, disguised as inconvenience or opportunity, or maybe just a gut feeling that says, this is it. Say yes to growth, but also say yes to stillness. Say yes to the ordinary moments that turn extraordinary only in hindsight. And when doubt creeps in, when the old voices whisper that you should be more realistic, smile that mischievous Sagittarian smile and whisper back, realistic is overrated. If you need a mantra for the road ahead, take this one: I am not lost. I am expanding faster than my old coordinates can handle. That's not confusion, that's evolution. You're not falling apart, you're rearranging into someone roomier, wiser, freer. The year of triumph 2025 isn't arriving on your doorstep, it's unfolding inside you. The applause you've been waiting for from the world will begin the moment you finally clap for yourself. So here's your invitation, Sagittarius: breathe, believe, and aim again. You've got a horizon to meet. And if this message lit even one spark of truth in you, if it reminded you of your brilliance or simply made you laugh at your cosmic clumsiness, then keep this dialogue alive. Share this energy, spread this light. Like, share, and subscribe to Zodiac Talks Tarot, where astrology stops being superstition and starts sounding like your soul speaking back to you. The stars are still writing, and so are you. Welcome to your dawn.